what your dog really thinks when you talk to them. Have you ever caught yourself talking to your dog like they are a person sharing moments from your day, asking if they are hungry again, even though dinner was only an hour ago, or whispering something meant just for the two of you? And in that moment, they look at you with those wide, loyal eyes, still and present as if they understand something too deep for words. It almost feels like they know something you do not. But what is actually going through their mind? Today, we are uncovering the mystery, the science, and the heart behind one of the most intimate and often misunderstood relationships in the animal world. This is what your dog really thinks when you talk to them and what that reveals about you. Before we go further, let me say this. This message is not just for the channel. It is for you. If you love your dog, if you have ever felt that quiet connection when they lean their body against you or place a paw gently on your leg, you will not hesitate to like and subscribe. Not for us, but because this knowledge belongs in your world. Let us build a space where people who see dogs as family can learn, share, and grow together. Now take a breath, because what you are about to discover may change the way you speak to your dog forever. Let us begin with the moment you speak, and they listen. Dogs do not understand human words the way we do. So what do they hear when you speak? When your voice fills the room, your dog does not process it as sentences or vocabulary. They hear rhythm, tone, and emotional energy. Imagine water rippling in a calm stream. That is what your voice feels like to your dog, a steady flow of emotional texture that tells them how safe or unsettled the moment is. You might ask, can my dog even recognize my voice? Yes, but not the way humans identify voices. Humans decode pitch, tone, structure, and meaning. Dogs specialize in emotional sound. Studies show that dogs are extremely sensitive to the emotional melody in human speech. They are tuned to the mood carried in your voice, not the literal meaning. To them, your voice is not language. It is atmosphere. It is a signal that tells them if you are peaceful, excited, tense, or loving. This is why you can say, "I love you" without warmth, and they barely react, but whisper something gentle, and they come trotting toward you immediately. It is not what you say. It is how your voice feels. And their ears are far from ordinary. Dogs can detect frequencies far higher than humans. They hear subtle shifts in your breath, the softness in your pauses, the tremble in your tone on a hard day. So when you talk to them, your dog is not just listening. They are absorbing every emotional detail. Your voice becomes pattern, and once they learn your emotional patterns, they remember them. Dogs have associative long-term memory. They do not just experience moments. They store moments that matter. Every soft word you speak becomes part of the emotional map your dog holds inside. And it is in this space where they remember your comfort, your stress, your laughter, and your sighs that true communication begins. Still think your words do not matter? Let us go deeper. When you walk in and say, "Hey buddy, I am home," your dog may not understand the sentence, but their ears rise, their tail lifts, their body leans toward you. Why? Because that phrase, that tone, that sound lives in a memory drawer in their mind. It is stored next to the rhythm of your footsteps and the feeling of your presence returning. Studies show dogs can distinguish their human's voice from strangers even when the words are identical. They turn toward the sound of the person they trust. They associate your voice with safety, affection, and belonging. They do not assign you a name. They do not picture your job or plans. They feel you. Your voice is part of their emotional weather. A shift in your tone is a shift in the sky. Calm feels like sunshine. Frustration feels like thunder. And they respond instantly. So your dog hears your emotions, not your vocabulary. Your intention matters more than your words. If your dog is resting in the sunlight and you whisper, "You are such a good one. I love you," that softness becomes a moment of complete safety for them. Your voice confirms their world is steady. Now flip the scene. You raise your voice in frustration, maybe not at them, but at something else. Instantly, they react. They do not know the cause. They know the emotional shift. To your dog, your voice creates the climate of their day. You have remarkable influence over your dog's emotional world. You can soothe or stress them simply by the tone you choose. This is the invisible language you share. And here is something even more interesting. Some researchers believe dogs learn to mirror their human sounds the way they mirror our moods. When your dog whines in a specific way for food or releases a soft groan when greeting you, that is not random. It is adaptation. It is their attempt to match your emotional patterns. They are not imitating your language. They are harmonizing with it. And while they do not speak your words, they speak back in their own language. A quiet lean, a gentle paw, a soft exhale, and their silence holds meaning. Because while you speak out loud, they respond through presence. That is the part most people miss. Your dog is not just listening to your voice. They are memorizing your emotional world. When you speak, you mark their sense of time, place, and connection. You are not only the person who talks, you are the presence that shapes their day. Your laughter warms them. Your sadness pulls them closer. Your quiet tells them more than you think. And when you cry, they notice instantly. They sit with you, not because they understand the story, but because they understand you. They know something is wrong by the tremble in your words and the shift in your breath. They lean in because your distress becomes their concern. So what do dogs really think when you talk to them? They think, "This is my person. This is my home. This is the voice I trust." But there is one moment, rare and unforgettable, when your dog does more than listen. They answer. And when that happens, it is not through barking. It is through connection. Your dog reads your voice, your posture, and your energy as one message. When your dog looks into your eyes and blinks softly, when their tail slows into that gentle wag of quiet affection, they are speaking without sound. They are saying, "I am here. I understand your feeling." Dogs communicate through presence more than noise. A slow blink is trust. A leaning body is comfort. A quiet step toward you is acknowledgement. Dogs survive by reading the world visually and emotionally. Every movement you make is a sentence. Your tone is a paragraph. Your emotional presence is the message. They mirror your calm. They mirror your stress. They adjust their behavior to match your energy. When you slow down, they soften. When you move fast or speak harshly, they step back in caution. Dogs build emotional maps of their humans. Your routines, your walk, your key, sounds, your morning tone, your bedtime rhythm. These patterns become landmarks in their world. When something changes, they feel it immediately. If your voice is tight, they notice. If your breath is uneven, they shift. If you are sad, they draw closer. Not to fix you, but to stand with you. People often say dogs are simple, but that is not true. They are deep emotional companions who understand more about your inner life than many humans ever will. They tune themselves to your energy, the way instruments tune to a melody. Dogs reflect your emotional climate. They become quiet when your world becomes heavy. They lean on you when you lose yourself. And when you talk to them through grief, joy, confusion, or exhaustion, they listen with a stillness that carries more understanding than words. When you are heartbroken, they rest beside you. When you are overwhelmed, they follow you from room to room. When you celebrate, their tail moves like a living spark. Your dog knows your vulnerable moments. They know the sound of suppressed sadness. They know the silence of worry. They know the pause after a long breath that tells them you need company. They feel these things in their chest, not their mind. Dogs stay, not because they understand your story, but because they understand your heart. When they curl against you on the hardest nights, that is not coincidence. That is loyalty. That is attunement. That is their form of love. They move toward your pain, not away from it. Your voice becomes a memory they carry. The tone you use when happy. The softness when you whisper. The warmth when you greet them. These become emotional anchors in their mind. Even in silence, they wait for the sound of you. So what does your dog truly think when you talk to them? They think, I know this voice. I trust this voice. I belong here. And that is why you should never stop talking to them. Because they have been answering you all along. Not with words, but with presence, affection, and unwavering loyalty. If this message touched you, share your story. Tell us what your dog does when you speak to them. That one quiet moment you still remember. And if you want to keep exploring the beautiful bond between you and your dog, subscribe and leave a like. Not for us, but for the ones who follow us from room to room, sit beside us in silence, and love us in ways words cannot explain. Because the most meaningful conversations are the ones spoken without words.